Hey guys, welcome to Chat with KST, your daily entertainment podcast, where we discuss celebrities and the different controversies that they have going on in the media. All right. So today we're just going to jump into a few different topics because I don't think it was really much going on, but before we do jump into those topics, quick disclaimer. Yesterday we discussed a little baby posting something about not using his name for clickbait. Now, because I am not the biggest Twitter fan, I didn't quite know where that tweet was coming from. And I thought he was referring to all the other drama that his name has been involved in over the years, but it was actually something specific. So we're going to get into that specific thing when the story comes up today, but I just want to put that disclaimer out there just in case you listened to yesterday's show and you're like, wait, no, she didn't talk about this. I'm going to talk about the Twitter video today. All right. We're going to talk about it. And I hope this is the last time we speak about this as it relates to little baby. But let's jump into these topics, right? So, first up, we have Glorilla. So, yesterday we discussed Glorilla blocking K Sinat for not liking her song Cha Cha Cha. And I personally feels like it stems from the celebrities' need to be validated all the time and not have the ability to take constructive criticism, which I feel like every and anyone should be able to take constructive criticism, but especially if you are someone of that level, that stature, like you should be able to definitely take constructive criticism because at that point it's not you, it's your team. But let's see what she had to say since knowing that Kai Sanat found out that she blocked him. Let's see what Glorilla had to say.
Like over to sit right beside us to watch the live. Don't come on my live ask me about nobody that I done blocked. What you talking about? They blocked and they gonna stay there. You made your bed, you gotta lay there. They say I'm blocked. They about to record that right there. I don't get no. He know why he blocked. Like over to sit right beside us to watch the live. Don't come on my live ask me about nobody that I done blocked.
All right. So she basically said, hey, look, don't be asking me about Kai. And she also said he know exactly why he is blocked. I think we all have gathered why you've chosen to block him, and we all know that your reason is very stupid, and it shows how immature you are. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, so according to It's On Site, former Love and Hip Hop star Prince claims he had a short fling with Lori Harvey as a excuse me, as a burp, I'm sorry, as a rapper, as well as rapper Sweetie's mom admits to trying to sneak and catch Lori on tape. So I'm guessing what this is saying is that he had sex with Lori Harvey, Sweetie's mother, and he also tried to catch Lori on a sex tape. Why would you try to catch someone on a sex tape and then after that admit it on like a public platform and think it's a flex being a man? Anyway, let me listen to what he has to say before I pass any judgments.
Was so on it.
Damn, son.
Honestly, what ended up happening was I don't really know how to like lead people, so I always get left. I had someone that I was dealing with,
Right.
and I loved her. I really like Lori, but I'm not the type of kid to kind of like just for someone because of what they could do for me. Because obviously that'd be lit. Like, oh my god, I'm with Lori Harvey. But I was very insecure too. Like, she told me like her ex was like Tyga, and all this like crazy shit, all the kids that she. I'm like, you fucking with me, like,
right?
I can't do for you. So I kind of like sabotage it, but like purposely because like I had something going on and I didn't know how to just like be real.
It was rumors about you and Sweetie.
Oh,
Sweetie's mother,
mom, Trinidad. Oh shit!
Did you smash Sweetie's mom?
Trinidad. I remember that. Oh yeah. Interesting. Her fucking husband ended up DMing me. And I hope you're happy. You ruined the family. I made sure she had a great time.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
You serviced her.
I call it the Prince experience.
What celebrities have you smashed?
I'm probably gonna get some shit for this, but Lori Harvey.
Oh,
All right. So this Prince guy, as we mentioned before, says he slept with Lori Harvey, and Sweetie's mom. Now, for me, how am I feeling about this? I feel like Lori, like, I'm not like immature or anything and feel like, oh well, you know what? At as a young girl, you should only have had slept with one person. I'm not that immature. I do have enough maturity to understand that when one situation ends, you move on to the next. However, Lori Harvey have a lot of names being called on her in the industry as it relates to successful men. So seeing like this guy get on a podcast, I'm like, okay, so if we know about all these other men that are successful that you've dated, imagine how many guys like this guy, Prince, who may not have been as successful that we don't know about that you've dated. And I'm like, Lori, you gotta slow it down a little bit. Your stepdad was the author of Think Like a Man. He starred in that movie. Like, what? Excuse me? Girl, you are thinking too princessy, okay? Cause we not supposed to be out here giving out the cat to whomever. And it's like the guys that she choose, I get it, like we're young, but the guys that she choose, like they sit on podcasts and out you. They put your name in rap songs. You know what I mean? But off of Lori Harvey's bad decision making, I think this entire podcast interview is a reflection of Prince and his immaturity, in that he feels the need to sit down and speak on someone that he had sex with, you know? But anyway, moving on. And I personally feel like if he was genuinely just speaking on his experiences, I wouldn't really care. But I do feel like bringing up those names are for clout in a way, because even though he was asked the question, what celebrity have you slept with? I feel like he could have been like, oh, I don't really want to talk about that. I don't want to answer that. I don't want to, because I've seen it many times where people like, you know what? I'm not going to expose the celebrities because I've chosen to entertain them and enter into their world. So I'm going to respect their privacy and stuff like that. So I feel like he could have done that. But you know what? To each his own. Let's move on. All right. So Mario was on the neighborhood talk, and it basically says, Cisco says Mario has to outsell him to be on R&B Mount Rushmore. It's a numbers game. You got to sell more than a dragon. All right. So what Mario was basically saying was that um he should be up there in the R&B Mount Rushmore with like Beyonce's and stuff like that. Let's listen to what Mario has to say before we listen to what this guy has to say.
R&B Mount Rushmore. I'm super curious to know. Guys, girls, whoever.
Beyonce, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Beyonce, Michael Jackson, me,
Okay, you. All right, you putting you.
You know
in
why I
there?
say that? Hold on, because I grew up listening to so many different types of music, and my mother and my grandmother. So I got like 2 generations of just soul music. Just great R&B. You know what I'm saying, that I grew up to. So that's why I say my voice kind of, I do a little bit of everything. I would say the fourth person would be Whitney Houston.
Whitney, I want to know your R&B Mount Rushmore. I'm super curious to know.
All right. So your R&B Mount Rushmore with Beyonce, Whitney, and Jackson, that's fine. I would choose those three too. Beyonce, definitely. Michael Jackson, definitely. Whitney. And of course, Miss Beyonce, right? The most recent one. But I would leave your name off, Mario. Like, just humbly. I would just leave your name off of it. But now let's listen to Cisco's response to what he said.
Mario could put himself on the Mount Rushmore of R&B. There's only 4 heads on there.
4
Is
heads?
that does he?
Oh,
Yeah, on Mount
Mario?
Rushmore there's only 4 heads. So
I don't know.
Does he make it?
Mario's from Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Did he sell more records than me?
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know. Kind of, it's a numbers game, ain't it?
Yeah.
But we've known Mario since he was younger. He's always been a fantastic singer. And as an artist, you gotta have that confidence.
Right.
So, hey man, more power to you, bro. However, you gotta sell more than a dragon coming from Baltimore if you want to be on the Mount Rushmore.
Look at
Mario.
All right. So, Mario. I'm just putting on some lip gloss real quick, guys. But Mario, I need you to understand that success, it's a lot. And when we compare ourselves to other people, or even if it's not comparing ourselves to other people, even if it's just like we are measuring up our own success or our own capabilities, we tend to, as human beings, this is a fact, not just me blabbing about whatever, this is a fact, we tend to overestimate what we can do and what we have done. It's a human nature thing, and I just feel like this is one of those moments where Mario is speaking very highly of himself. Um, but when it boils down to facts and the numbers, because the numbers do matter, I kind of agree with Cisco here that we're going to leave those three. I don't even quite agree with putting Cisco up there. I think we would just leave those three: Beyonce, Whitney, and Michael Jackson. Let's just leave those three there. Let's not even try to debate who else needs to be on there. Those are the three. We can all agree on it. If we can't all agree on it, you don't belong up there. You don't belong up there. But yeah, I guess it was just like a little back and forth, a little kiki, just to say, who belonged on there. But anyway, speaking of numbers and who belongs on the R&B Mount Rushmore, Beyonce, according to this vlog channel, Spiritual Word, they say that Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour officially grossed $592.4 million across all 56 shows, making it the highest grossing female tour in history. So Mario, my question to you is, have you done that? Can you do it? And if the answer to that question is no, you don't belong up there. All right. So, according to the Shade Room, Samantha Lee opens up about filing for divorce from Tyrese. I had different people in my ear at the time, and I would have not made that decision. So, if different people were around her, she wouldn't have made the decision to divorce Tyrese. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Angry. And I remember, like, when I made like the decision, I was like hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney. That was not the person I should have been on the phone with. When, like, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I was hysterically crying. And I was not in any position to make that decision. I was extremely emotionally intoxicated. We can be intoxicated with our emotions, because I would never tell, I work with women. I would never tell a woman to walk through that in the same frame of mind I was in when I did it.
And when you say that, but what frame of mind was that? What do you mean by that in particular?
I was very, very hurt. I was very angry. And I remember, like, when I made like the decision, I was like hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney. That was not the person I should have been on the phone with. When, like,
Okay.
that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I'm very much emotionally led. I feel very strongly. I'm just that kind of person, very passionate. But I would never tell somebody to make that decision when they're that emotional. But of course, I wasn't talking to someone that genuinely would be for marriage, or for reconciliation. And that's not no slight to my,
No, it's
The
attorney.
current friends.
It has nothing. There's no slight to that. Not the friends, but I was on the phone with my attorney.
Yeah.
So it was something that was being said to me that hurt me at that time. And that, so at that time when I was on the phone and I made that decision, I was livid. And I'm very much emotionally led. I feel very the truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision. No.
Wow.
I wouldn't. And that's the truth. I try my very best at this point in my life to be what I didn't have in that moment. Because I think that women were like, I'm an extremely emotional person. People that know me know that about me. I'm the kind of person that, like, okay, I feel so strong, and I can ruminate. I can get so lost in my thoughts. I know a lot of women are like that. Like, not all of us, right? But some of us are. Just like a lot of men can be like that. But I know women specifically, there will be moments where they'll be like, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I can't stand this. He don't do this. He don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. And when you get lawyers involved, and there was a therapist that was speaking to both me and him, a marital therapist at the time, that when I told him my decision, he was like, when you get lawyers involved, it gets ugly. He told me that. And, I didn't even realize, I don't think I even realized how ugly it would get, and like I said, if I could walk back in time, sometimes I battle with myself about that. But at that time, I thought I was doing the right thing or the best thing. I didn't know how ugly it could get. And I know a lot of women, we make that decision and we're so hurt and angry. And then 5-6 months later, you're not that angry anymore. Like, oh, this kind of like still care about him. I kind of still have these feelings for him now. And when you get lawyers,
You now in the spirit of potentially even being able to rekindle a relationship, like rekindle that relationship, is your spirit in that place, or Could it ever go back to that place?
It's loaded because of the fact that there's been so much that's happened, like there's been so much that's occurred. Okay. It's my daughter's father. So I would say this. I would say that if we were both going to show up and we were both going to fight for it equally and sacrifice equally, like things that I needed and things that he needed. I wasn't perfect. Come on.
Yeah.
Your girl ain't perfect. So I would say that if we were both willing to fight and we were both willing to do certain things, then yes.
Are you now in this?
All right. So basically, she's now in this state of mind of, I feel like, regretting her decision to, let me move this around, to get a divorce, right? And I was reading the comment here that said, y'all owe Tyrese a huge apology and grace. He lost his mom to COVID, wife, and fought to see his daughter, and the internet trolled. Now, do I remember the backlash that Tyrese was receiving when he was going through the divorce with his wife? Absolutely. I remember it got even bad to the point where he was calling on his fans to reach out to the judge and to have things happen, to not even reach out to the judge, to have the judge looked into, because he felt like things were being done at trial at his divorce that was unfair and stuff like that. So and we all were like, hey, you know what, just take your L. You just take your L and move on. So people are now feeling like, and it wasn't just that Amber person who I read her comment, I scrolled down a little bit, and people were just feeling like, hey, you made us troll this guy Tyrese just for you to come and sit down and say you want him back. Now, we trolled as fans because we trolled as fans. We didn't make her do she didn't make us do anything. That's one. We trolled because we were going to troll, and that's what we were going to always do as fans. So let me clear that up. Two, they do say hindsight is 2020. So if you feel like you made a mistake or you made a bad decision and you are trying to fix that decision, then I think that you should always do that. However, I do feel like you need to indeed ensure that you did indeed make a mistake and you are not just embracing the emotions and the feelings of nostalgia and thinking and reminiscing on the past, because this was something that I learned in therapy. When you have those relationships where it's up and down, up and down, up and down, constantly up and down, today you're good, tomorrow you're bad, today you're good, tomorrow you're bad, or whatever kind of relationship you guys have, if it's like one of those makeups or breakup kind of relationships or those problematic relationships, what tends to happen is when you are with the person, you love them, things are going good, and whatever the case may be, you're good, things are great. But then when things start to get ruffled now and you start to see why you may not really like being around this person too much, you're like, okay, I see why I don't like being around you, I see why you're not for me, let me move away from you, right? Then you go ahead and you move away from the person. And when you move away from your person, the way how our mind works is to reflect on all the good things that the person did, right? Now, not saying that sometimes we don't hold certain grudges and think negatively towards people and stuff like that, but how I learned it was that we tend to, when we keep going back, we are only reflecting on the positive parts of the relationship, and we forget that they did XYZ to us until we get back into the relationship and we're like, oh, hey, this is why I left in the first place. So an example of this would be Miss Samantha Lee, now officially feeling like she's exhausted, files for the divorce, gets the divorce, is currently divorced, and has months away from this man, been months apart from this man, and now decides that she wants to go back to him. I feel like what's going on with her is she is sitting down and she's reminiscing and thinking about all the good things, all the good memories they had, especially if she's not like dating anyone anymore, especially if things it aren't like blossoming for her in her life, if she's not like investing in herself the way that she should, um or into the things that she love. What she can find herself doing is looking back at the past with Tyrese. And when she's looking back at the past with Tyrese, she's like, oh, wait, we had this good moment. We went here together. We did this, we did that, we did that. But she's forgetting that when she was an example, and this is just like a random example, not a truthful example, she forgets that, oh, when they were in the Bahamas, they argued the entire trip. When they went to Turks and Caicos, he cheated on her. When they went to the Maldives, she was there by herself. Like, it's like we only remember like the good parts of it, like, oh, I went here with him, I went there with them, oh my god, I should be with this person right now, why did I leave, blah blah. And our mind shuts down from remembering, like, or even wanting for us to see, like, what would they say, it's like having the rose colored glasses on, they said. Oops. It's like having the rose colored glasses on, where we're only like seeing the positives of a connection. And I just personally feel like that's kind of like what's going on with her now, with the way how she felt so strongly about him before, and now she's having an entire 180 switch. So I mean, good luck to her. And I do know that Tyrese actually responded to her. I was gonna pull up his response later on, but let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm gonna see if I can find Tyrese's response because I know I saw it. I don't think I may have saved it, but I know I saw it. Oh, here it is. Tyrese calls his ex-wife heartless while addressing her comments regarding their divorce. So let's listen to his response.
All right. Hold on. Look, man, I was not going to respond to this video of my ex that's now gone viral. She is loving it. Congratulations, you went viral again over something else that you said, because you're trying to build up your YouTube page and get your followers up. Listen, man, listen. If you had people in your ear that influenced you into leaving your husband and your 1-year-old child, your innocent 1-year-old child, we both were divorcee kids, grew up in toxic environments, torn in between our old family, new family, stepfather, stepmother. That's a life that we both lived. And you packed up a 1-year-old, put a COVID mask on top of the Ring cameras, and I was literally in an airplane on my way home to fight for my marriage and my family. You're heartless. None of your friends recognize you. This is all about money. If you had friends in your ear, you're lying, you're gaslighting, you're playing. The only person that was in your ear was your mama. Her name is Patricia Randolph. You didn't have people in your ear. The amount of people that was supposedly in your ear, you also had a whole lot of people like Aventer Gray, Taffy Dollar, Creflo Dollar's wife, who married us. You had a whole lot of people in your ear telling you that you're about to do something stupid, impulsive, and y'all are actually not going through anything that would make you want to leave your husband. Let's go even further. When Aventer Gray and Pastor John Gray were having their own marital issues at the time, you arranged a therapy session with Aventer Gray at our house. And when she walked out of her therapy session, she walked into the foyer where the Bumblebee is, and there was 50 boxes with like 7 or 8 people there packing up all to leave the house. And I was in an airplane on my way home to try and fight and save our marriage. So if you had people in your ear at the time, they must be still in your ear, because you're still trying to get $20,000 a month for a 5-year-old. You make $160,000 a year on your own. This is all a game. You're clout chasing. You're something that I don't even know. A simple woman, not into materialistic things, don't care about fame and mansions and popularity. You're everything that you told me and all of your friends and loved ones that you wasn't. If you wanted to be famous, boo-boo, that's all you had to say. You didn't have to play this game that you wasn't. Now you out here playing on single mothers and their emotions, playing on women that are actually in abusive relationships and marriages that are toxic and dark and dysfunctional. That's not what that was. You think I would have a song entitled "I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me" if I didn't really feel that way? You think I would have a song out called "Love Transaction" if I didn't realize that it was never love, it was just a transaction? This shit is money. All right.
All right. So you see, it's always good to get two sides to a story, because after listening to Tyrese's side of the story, I don't quite feel as though their relationship was as tumultuous as she is making it out to be right now. And I really don't know why she's making it out to be so tumultuous. Let me see what's going on with this thing. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull something up here. But I don't know. Like you said, it probably is for clicks and views. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I was just trying to get back to the page that I needed it to be on. But anyway, as it relates to Samantha Lee, I feel like she knows her angle, and Tyrese obviously knows her angle as well. I would hope she isn't being manipulative for clout. But then again, if Tyrese is saying nothing is wrong in the relationship or nothing went wrong in the relationship, why would she be here? Right? And it's like so much moving pieces going on with this whole Samantha Lee Tyrese situation, because what I can also remember from my past is when a man is in a relationship with a woman, or like when anyone is in a relationship, but we're going to use a man and a woman for this example. When a man is in a relationship with a woman, right? Let's say the man is cheating, the man is up out having fun with his friends, going here, there, everywhere, blah 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 blah, and the woman is the one that's cooking, cleaning, doing all the hard work, going out to work, coming home to take care of the house, coming home to take care of the man, coming home to serve the man. And the woman, like, what I'm trying to say is people's experiences can be different. So even though we're in the same relationship, your experience within this relationship could be very different from mine. So Tyrese's experience in the relationship could have been like, hey, you know what? I'm not having no issues in this relationship. This relationship is perfect. Like, I couldn't ask for a better relationship. Where her experience in a relationship was very different. So I mean, that could also be what is happening here. I don't know if I believe it is entirely for clout, but then again, I feel like Tyrese knows her best, and I feel like maybe it's for the best. If you have surmised that, hey, you know what, this person is just in it for the clicks and the views and the money, you know what, getting out early before the person is able to dig their claws in may be for the best, right? But that's how the cookie crumbles with Tyrese and his ex-wife. Now, let's listen to what happened with Usher and Charlamagne.
Usher would, serenade his wife, and Charlamagne said that he would join. It would be like a threesome on stage.
Okay, on stage.
It wasn't on. Charlamagne and his wife went out to see Usher over the weekend.
It was a date night.
Yeah. Date night, and we talked about it up here. If he ever went, Usher would, serenade his wife, and Charlamagne said that he would join. It would be like a threesome on stage.
Okay, on stage.
It wasn't on. Charlamagne and his wife went out to see Usher
Stage because he comes into the crowd. He's a terrorist. Terrorists come to you.
But we
don't bring you on stage. He comes to you.
We have audio.
Must I remind you, don't leave your girl around me.
Oh.
Not to calling you out though.
Somebody say that you.
Whoa.
Stage because he comes into the crowd. He terrorist, man. Terrorist. And not only did Usher sing to my wife, he gave my wife a dozen roses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that you flew back home alone.
That's not true.
No.
Wait, I'm telling you how much of a terrorist Usher is. He went from my wife to Doja Cat, who was clearly the terrorist, man. Terrorist. And not with a guy. I don't know if that was her dude, but he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Then Jessica Alba was sitting behind me. He went to Jessica Alba, started singing to her. She's married. Then he had the nerve to look at J-Lo and say, I don't want no smoke with Ben Affleck. Well, what you want smoke with me for, Usher? Yeah, with a guy. I don't know if that was her dude, but he didn't care. I'm telling you right now, when me and my wife go see Usher, I dare Usher to try to come serenade my wife, because he's going to be serenading to both of us. I'm going to tell her grab the right hand, I'm going to grab the left hand, and we both going to be Usher's boo when he's singing my boo. You hear me?
That's going to be a little weird.
Yeah,
all right. So, for those of you who are listening to the podcast audio, basically what's going on here is DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God are sitting down doing their breakfast show as always, and they're discussing Charlamagne's experience at Usher's concert, where Usher gave his wife a dozen roses and serenades his wife. Now, back in July 2023, Charlamagne says that, hey, if Usher walks up to me and my wife at that concert, we both gonna be serenaded. I'm gonna be holding his hand. She gonna be holding another hand, and it's gonna be all three of us. But when when he actually went to the concert and Usher actually serenades his wife, he didn't really do that. He just kind of laughed and, allowed his wife to enjoy the experience, which is normally what we do as people. We'd be like, yo, I can't wait to see you, because if I see you, I'm a blah, blah. And then when you see me, you don't really do nothing, like that's just how we are as people. But I'm happy that Charlamagne was able to allow his wife to enjoy the Usher experience, right? And not kind of take things too personal, because we see how it can go with Usher and the ladies, and the guys taking his performances too serious, like lay off, All right, so Jay-Z weighs in on the popular online debate that says, would you take $500,000 cash instead of a lunch date with him? Listen to what Jay-Z had to say.
Which would you choose? You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say? Yeah, I mean, everything that I'm gonna
No,
say,
no, only because people say, of course you take lunch with Jay-Z because the wisdom that you would get from him would be so beneficial to you. There would only be a matter. You would take the money.
Yeah, because you got all that in the music for $10.99. That's a bad deal. I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like,
I don't
take the
know.
500,000, go buy some albums and listen to the albums. It's all there. If you piece it together and really listen to the music for the words, for what it is, it's all there. Everything that I said was gonna happen. Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done. And there's the blueprint. The blueprint literally to me and my life and my journey is there already.
There's something interesting online, Jay. I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you had a choice between getting paid $500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z, which would you choose?
You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say? Yeah, I mean, everything that I'm gonna say.
No, only because people say, of course.
All right. So I know that someone like has to have come across this. It's like the infamous debate. Would you rather sit down with like a Beyonce, with like a Warren Buffett, or would you rather take the money? Now I think people, I don't know. I think we as regular people, I think we overestimate these celebrities. We put them on a pedestal. So we think we're going to get more out of them if we sat down with them and did like a lunch date. Okay, I sit down with you on a lunch date. I get to know you. Either you offer me a job where I can learn a lot of stuff and then I'll be getting paid millions. That's what we think. Or if not that, then we feel like I'll sit down with you and you'll give me the formula for success. You will give me the road or the map to how to become a multi-millionaire. So instead of taking the 500K, I'm gonna sit down with you. I'm gonna take my chances and sit down with you. And I think what Jay-Z is clearly proving here is that, hey, you don't need to sit down with nobody. You don't need to sit down with nobody, because Hollywood is like a gated community. It's like a gated community. And you gotta work hard to get through those gates. One dinner isn't gonna get you through those doors. This is what this interview has showed me. What this interview has also shown me is that people aren't going to be as willing to allow little old you or me through those Hollywood doors or through those doors to riches. And you know what? Sometimes that's how people are. They feel as though, hey, if I worked 20, 30, 40, 50 years for what I have, why should I sit down and give it to you in 30 minutes? Right? I had to sit down, bust my tail for 20, 30, 40, 50 years just to have the success and the financial freedom that I have. Why would I give you all of that in 30 minutes? Did you work for it? So I feel like there's a lot going on here. I think Jay-Z has definitely put something in everyone's brain. So when we playing that game and we're asked that question again, I don't think nobody gonna be having a dinner with Jay-Z. Okay. He's like, what you gonna do? You gonna sit there, look at me? I'm gonna look at you. We ain't gonna really do nothing. All right. I didn't even realize that this one was on the list for today. But anyway, according to the Neighborhood Talk, it says that Tristan Thompson, first baby mama Jordan Craig, claims he owes her $224,000 in back child support. Wants the courts to garnish his NBA checks. Tristan, I don't know. Like, Tristan has like every time I hear Tristan's name, I just think of a person who can't keep their junk in their trunk. Um and also somebody who isn't responsible. I feel like I'm like kind of thinking on all the men that were over there by the Kardashians. And I think Kanye kind of falls into line with this, where like I feel like they get some men who aren't who are irresponsible, and they kind of take over their lives, right? And I feel like with Tristan, um when he has, and how am I, like, I think it's Chloe, how am I forgetting, not Chloe, hold on, how am I forgetting the Kardashian that Tristan is with? Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. So it is Chloe. It is Chloe. I didn't get it correct. So I feel like Chloe is the responsible parent within their relationship, and he just goes about his day. So I don't feel like this is a situation of him um not having the money. I just feel like it's about him being irresponsible and perhaps not wanting to pay her the money. And I feel like in that case, if you have a child, and according to the court system, the child should be living the same life that you're living. So you need to run that bread. You need to run that bread. And what I was trying to get at earlier as it relates to the Kardashians is that I just feel like every time I think of Kanye, I think of Tristan. Like those are the ladies that I kind of associate them with. But in this situation, I do feel like it looks bad. I don't even want to say it. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna dwell too much on the irresponsible portion of it, because then I'm gonna have to bring up Kanye and Kim and how they also show up in the relationship. But if you are smart, you'll be able to like kind of understand the correlation, where I feel like like how these two men, not even those two, but like how it just be irresponsible black men over there, and the Kardashians just kind of take control of their lives, you know? But anyway, Tristan, just pay her the child support and allow her to move on. If it's not something that you want your child to see later on in life, that you kind of refuse to pay the child support. Now, according to its on site, Toya Johnson's brother Cassie explains why he blamed her for their brother's debt. Says he's angry, felt like she could have moved them from that environment.
Did that shit. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like, damn, man, you could have got Josh and them out New Orleans or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of anger. You know what I'm saying? And I just was saying anything out my mouth, you know. And I apologize to my sister for that, bro. I pray that she forgive me for that, because that's probably something that's gonna always stick in her head. Me telling her that, and that was some fucked up shit to say. You know, I take accountability for that. I was just going through a lot, bro, around that time, and I was angry. And, you know, by you losing two brothers, bro, that shit ain't no good feeling. You know what I'm saying? You might see anything. You might flash out on anybody. So, you know, I apologize for that. You know, I love my sister to death, bro. I don't never want her to feel like that was on her, because it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Toya was opening up to you, and she said that you blamed her for the reasons your brother got killed. Like, where that came from?
All right. So real quick, guys, I am going to be heading into work today, so I'm not going to be able to do such a lengthy show. So I'm going to try to run through the stories. So if you see me moving a little bit fast, it's because I have to like kind of head out in a little bit. But in terms of Toya, and how her brother feels, I feel like you can't blame someone. You can't blame Toya for not taking on the responsibility of you and her other brother. Toya is not your mom, Toya is your sister. And I think that happens a lot where they have one success story in the family, and based on the one success story that we have in the family, everyone wants to put the pressure on that person. And it's like, no, let's make more success stories and go be successful ourselves and not put all that weight on one person. All right. So, according to Stacy, she says, I love City Girls and don't hate me for saying this, but I think JT needs to take the offset route. She says this because No Jumper podcast put out something saying City Girls' latest album, Raw, is on pace to sell 6 to 8 copies the first week. Where Pop Crave says Set It Off by Offset debuts at number 5 on the Billboard 200 with 70K units. It becomes the third top 10 album as a soloist. Okay, so real quick, I feel like a lot of people have been saying that JT needs to depart from the group and kind of do her own thing because the City Girls isn't the City Girls. Like, they talk bad about Carisha's raps. They say that Carisha cannot rap. They say that JT is the lyricist of the group and she would have a more successful career if she decided to go solo. A lot of people have been saying that. I think it's a lot harder said than done, but I personally also feel as though she may have a better success. She would have a more successful career solo because people will then be able to actually see JT. She won't be clouded by Young Miami's relationship and Carisha Please. They'll be able to see that JT can actually rap and JT is the one who's actually carrying the group, But anyway, let's move on. All right. So Blueface is ordered to pay $13 million to the strip club owner whose club was permanently closed down due to the Vegas shooting incident. So remember when he got arrested for shooting up this guy. The guy had made some kind of joke and he got upset and whatever. I just feel like everything you do in life has consequences, and Blueface shooting up the club, if that man is losing out on $13 million because you decide to shoot up his club, you now have to pay for your actions, and that's it. So I'm in favor of this decision. Now, according to the Neighborhood Talk, I was a little bit surprised to see this, and I'm going to say allegedly. I don't care how many concrete sources come out and say this. I'm going to always say allegedly. Dwight Howard, I grew up watching Dwight Howard. I wouldn't say I love him, but he is one of my favorites. Not even a favorite, but he is one of the ones that I actually like in the NBA. So I'm just gonna tread lightly as it relates to him. But anyways, Dwight Howard admits to meeting with man on Instagram to hook up, but says he didn't force him to participate in threesome. All right. So this is all alleged as according to me, because I'm not about to say that this man is bisexual unless I see him on video saying that he's bisexual. So according to Radar Online, according to a Radar Online report, Dwight Howard wants a sexual assault lawsuit thrown out after admitting to meeting his accuser. Per exclusive, Howard is accused of assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. Steph Harper, the accuser, said that Howard attempted to initiate a threesome with a man dressed as a woman named Kitty. Harper was supposedly unaware of Kitty's involvement with their activities and declined. However, no, sorry, had declined. Howard then allegedly began touching Harper's private through his underwear, to which Harper became uncomfortable and asked him to stop. Howard told Harper he's going to do whatever, and he was going to like it. Harper was in fear of imminent bodily harm when he was pinned down and forced to remain in place while defendant continued to sexually assault him. Howard denies the sexual assault claims, though, as he stated that Harper was aware of Kitty's presence before even arriving. He told the court that all three consensually did intimate things together and Miss Harper's claims. Dwight. Hold on. Do y'all remember growing up? And this is gonna be the last story for the day, guys, because I really have to head out to work, and we'll just reconvene again tomorrow. Do y'all remember growing up? And this is what just came to my mind, and being in like high school, and they be like, Dwight around your lips. Like, if you know, you know. Like, I'm sorry, I had a fun childhood. Anyway, Dwight, Mr. Howard, this is not looking good. This is not looking good if Dwight Howard is proclaimed to be a straight heterosexual man. Now, if he is not a straight heterosexual man, it appears based on this that he may be full blown gay or bisexual. I personally don't care what his sexual preferences are. I really don't. Um yeah, like I'm trying to think about this whole Dwight Howard situation, and I'm like, I don't really care what his sexual preference is. Like, yes, it may be a shocker to find out that someone that you may have thought was heterosexual your entire life find out that they are bisexual. But I don't think I care enough. It's just, honestly, it's just a shocker. That's all it is to me. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, has he ever like led anyone on? Like, I'm really trying to think of his dating history. I'm really trying to think of a lot of stuff, and I'm not coming up with anything bad that he has done. So for me, like, if all you've done is been in the closet your whole life and you decided to finally come out because somebody's accusing you of some really dark shit, then if that's what you need to do, then do exactly that. And I'm not gonna knock you for being bisexual. I won't be with you, but it is what it is. So each his own. Like, you know enjoy the threesomes. Anyway, guys, I know today it wasn't really a short show, but it was definitely supposed to be longer. If you can see, we were supposed to talk about 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Ooh, 18 more things we were supposed to be discussing. But unfortunately, I forgot the people that work. The bills have to get paid. So since I have to go into the people that work, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure say on have the daily podcast to listen to. I'm gonna go to the people them job. I think I might even vlog for TikTok today. But anyway, I'm gonna go into the people them job, the job. do the work, go to the gym, come back home. And when I come back home, if I'm feeling it, I'll do a part 2 for today. If not, those 18 topics and whatever else we have buzzed for tomorrow will just be for tomorrow. I hope that you guys have an awesome and productive day. And just remember that you can do all the things you set your mind to do. You will do all the things that you set your mind to do. And I want you guys to plan for whatever you have set your mind to do so that you can actually achieve it. Okay. I think an important piece of the formula for success is the ability to plan and the ability to strategically have things set up for yourself so that you can just walk into success. All right. So that is the gem that I'm going to drop for you guys today. Today is Tuesday, October the 24th. And we'll either talk later on or we're going to do this thing tomorrow. All right. Later.